10 Best Seashores in Florida. Known as the Daylight State, Florida is a famous spot to visit, as it borders both the Atlantic and the Bay of Mexico. It does not shock to discover that the most southeastern state in the U.S. is honored with a plenty of dazzling seashores. Its huge urban communities, like Miami, Stronghold Lauderdale, and Pensacola, are home to a bunch of fabulous cafes, lodgings, and nightlife, and their untainted fixing close to shining turquoise waters just adds to their fascination. Moreover, Florida is likewise eminent for its abundance of event congregations, with Disney World, widespread studios, and Ocean World being among the most famous, as well as its enthusiastic urban areas. The state's fantastic regular parks and delightful seashores offer a dumbfounding exhibit of open-air exercises and water sports for guests to test. With top-notch attractions lying right close to an overabundance of elite seashores, Florida gives the best-case scenario. This makes it such an alluring vacation spot. 1. South Oceanside. One of the most well-known urban communities to visit in the entire of the U.S., Miami Oceanside is home to heaps of marvelous craftsmanship deco structures, a beating nightlife scene, and obviously, the stunning white sands of South Oceanside. While many individuals think it is essential for Miami legitimate, Miami Oceanside is situated on an obstruction island simply relatively close to it, with the sparkling Sound of Biscayne lying between the two. In that capacity, there are heaps of phenomenal water sports for guests to attempt, as well as a plenty of fantastic lodgings and cafes with seas out over the water. Close by the noteworthy design and fabulous clubs, South Oceanside likewise has a flourishing social scene. Following a day spent relaxing around the ocean, guests can continuously make a beeline for one of its top-notch historical centers or astounding theaters. An extremely stylish and vivacious spot, South Oceanside looks fabulous with the waving palm trees and tall structures that line it. Its enticing sands are legitimately considered to make it perhaps of the best oceanside in the country. 2. Bowmans Oceanside. Lying right at the core of the Florida Keys, Bowmans State Park is an extraordinary spot to head to submerge yourself in nature, and the view is absolutely bewildering. Its 3 great seashores are totally honored with splendidly dazzling white sands and completely clear waters which are great for swimming or swimming. Home to a different scope of natural life, it is a birdwatcher's heaven, and dolphins, ocean turtles, and beams can be in every way spotted seaward occasionally. Perhaps of its most noteworthy sight, other than its abundance of regular joys, is the old neglected railroad span that extends away from one finish of the island. With the absolute best seashores in the Florida Keys, Bowmans is certainly worth visiting. You could in fact camp inside the public park to awaken to a marvelous dawn over either the Atlantic or the Bay of Mexico. 3. Stronghold Lauderdale Oceanside. In spite of frequently being known as the Venice of America in light of the multitude of waterways that can be found in the city, Post Lauderdale's principal draw is Great Oceanside stretches perpetually up the coast. In numerous ways, its fine white sands look a considerable amount like that of its popular neighbor, Miami South Oceanside. A large group of lodgings, cafes, and bars line the lovely Oceanside. There is a very laid-back vibe about the region, and its strip has bunches of nightlife and diversion for local people and vacationers the same to appreciate. Aside from simply relaxing on the warm sands of Post Lauderdale Oceanside, there are likewise heaps of incredible water sports to test. For example, scuba plunging, stream skiing, and swimming, among others. 4. Clearwater Oceanside. A jewel of an oceanside to visit, Clearwater Oceanside lies on the Bay of Mexico and is only relatively close to Tampa if you have any desire to join your outing to the oceanside with a visit to the city. Perhaps of the most fabulous oceanside in Florida, on the off chance that not the country, Clearwater Oceanside has beautiful white sands for you to relax on. Each night, the sparkling waters that line it are washed in a brilliant dusk. Make a beeline for Wharf 60 for the best perspective on the sun going down. As it is an exceptionally famous oceanside retreat, there is burdens to see and do, with the Clearwater Marine Aquarium being one of its fundamental attractions. A family-accommodating spot, there are a large number of scrumptious eateries, shops, and resorts for guests to browse, as well as bunches of water sports on offer. 5. Bowmans Oceanside. Extending along the west shore of Sanibel Island, Bowmans Oceanside is brilliantly lacking in examination with a large portion of different seashores in Florida, making it ideal for individuals searching for a tranquil escape. There is an exceptionally immaculate feel about the spot. Subsequently, you won't track down a lodging in sight. The most compelling thing to do here is to partake in the amazing landscape and visit a portion of the immaculate nature stops that lie close by. Basically famous among families, birdwatchers and shell gatherers, Sanibel Island and its dynamite normal sites is found not excessively far from Post Mayors on the off chance that you at any point want to partake in the advantages of a little. 6. Break Oceanside. With probably the best white powder sand on the planet, Break Oceanside looks as though it has been detached from a movement inventory. It does not shock discover that it has won various global awards for being quite possibly of the most lovely oceanside on the planet. The amazing splendid quartz oceanside is exceptionally wide and far-reaching and is lined by the superb emerald waters of the inlet of Mexico. Heaps of fine cafes, bars, and inns can be seen as all Wild Break Key. The boundary island is found simply off Florida's Fortune coast and has a plenty of water sports, recreation exercises, and diversion choices for guests to browse, as well as some exuberant nightlife once the sun sets over this wonderful oceanside heaven. 7. St. Andrews Oceanside, a well-known vacationer location. Panama City Oceanside is home to an abundance of seashores that surprisingly stretch for north of 30 kilometers. St. Andrews Oceanside is without a doubt the most noteworthy one. As it is situated in a state park, the oceanside is really unblemished. The dainty portion of land whereupon it rests is lined by the peaceful waters of Grand Holy Person Andrews Sound on one side and the sparkling waters of the Inlet of Mexico on the other. There are heaps of fun water sports to test and some fabulous jump spots to be found among the fake reefs that lie simply seaward. Likewise, the city has heaps of attractions for the entire family to appreciate, for example, a marine park, event congregation and touring travels all over the coast. 8. Grayton Oceanside. While the little and languid town of Grayton Oceanside might not have a lot happening in that frame of mind of diversion or nightlife, it is honored with probably the most unbelievable seashores in Florida. Grayton Oceanside State Park covers a huge region and contains probably the most lovely seashores you'll at any point see. Investigating the little ways and trails that snake their direction in the midst of the ridges is a magnificent encounter, and there are loads of open-air exercises for guests to participate in. Subsequently, it is certainly worth visiting Grayton Oceanside for the amazing landscape, as well as the splendid scuba jumping and swimming that can be had in its inviting waters. It is likewise home to the one-of-a-kind submerged gallery of workmanship, which guests can plunge down to investigate. 9. Pensacola Oceanside. Lying on a dainty hindrance island found simply off the bank of Central Area, Florida, the city of Pensacola Oceanside makes for an extraordinary getaway destination. There is something for everybody in the family to appreciate. You can party at one, take a shot at some water sports at another, and partake in a fabulous fish supper at one more spot. Of its seashores, Club Oceanside is without a doubt the most famous as it has the most conveniences as well as a beautiful dock which you can walk around while watching the sun go down over the Inlet of Mexico. Assuming you at any point have enough of relaxing on the sand and taking in the sun, then Stronghold Pickens is definitely worth visiting, and is the city's most famous fascination after its seashores. Constructed as far as possible, thinking back to the 1,800 seconds to shield Pensacola from assault, the now disintegrating post looks exceptionally great, and is an important memorable milestone. 10. Chargebags Cape Florida State Park, found right on the southern tip of Key Biscayne. Bill Baggs is encircled by the delightful and wild Cape Florida State Park. In that capacity, the oceanside is in immaculate condition as it is so immaculate. Other than relaxing on its heavenly sands, there are heaps of wonderful little paths jumbling the island for you to investigate. While cycling or climbing, you'll run over a few spectacular perspectives and scenes, for certain ways prompting a stunning perspective on Miami itself, far in the distance. At one finish of Bill Baggs, you'll scarcely neglect to see the transcending Cape Florida beacon, which truly stands apart among its environmental factors. It makes for some extraordinary photographs as it looks out over the waters that encompass it. Finally, thanks for watching this video. See you again next time.